I'm back live. I had to take a call, man. A call came in. Had to do had to speak to family. Let me see where we at here. We're gonna try to do this live like this. I need to figure out. I need to get a setup for this car where I can at least have phone up doing the live and holding it down. But I'm gonna figure something out. You know, all this stuff is just problems. If you are a content creator, you are a problem solver. That's what you do as a content creator. You just solve problems. There's a lot of jobs that are, they call them whatever, but when it really boils down to it, it's basically you're just solving problems. Let's see. I think this problem might be best like this. Okay. Oh, damn it. That works. I kind of like that. If it stays there. Yeah, man. And my audio's going to be off a little bit. The jankiness. The janky. We call this the janky live. You don't know what's going to happen. We're going to keep it 1000% real. We're going to have people dropping in and out like, yo, I can't take it. I can't take it, Tay. That camera moving. You know what? I can't take it either. I'm about to just hold this joint for a minute. And then we're going to put in a destination and just ride there with autopilot. You know what I mean? The thing about autopilot, though, it be paying attention. It'll throw a jam in your. It'll throw a jam in there for you. I'll be like, nah, we ain't doing that. Cancel autopilot. That's what. You see that dude who was online, who I guess he was going viral. He was saying how his Cybertruck stopped the road, and Tesla had to be like, yo, that ain't even on the screen. We ain't got an animation that's like that on the screen. What are you talking about? But they was late with the response. I think that thing was already, I heard about it. I saw it in my feed, and I'm thinking like, bro, something like that, they should have been on that. Tesla should have been on that immediately, and just because I know they put out a post about it on X saying that was a false, fake video. And but yeah, even when I looked at it myself before Tesla even mentioned that, I saw the screen and I said to myself, dang, that screen, it said something on there. If you pause the video, it said something about return to dealer. And to me, it looked like he was borrowing it and didn't return it. I'm like, okay, well, he ain't giving us the full story. That's definitely number one. And then number two, Tesla came out and said that ain't their animation. They don't have an animation for a screen like that. So everybody's out here just chasing views, man. And they'll do whatever. They'll lie about a company, especially when they think there's no legal recourse. But I don't know. I think there is legal recourse for that. Like if Tesla wanted, they could definitely, hit dude up for something. This metro station right here, Eisenhower. It's a good metro station that's out of the way, and it's pretty connected if you want to visit downtown DC. Hello. How was my day? My day was fine. Nidia. So yeah, I was doing a live earlier. I tried to do it with my big camera, and it wasn't. I was trying to do a mobile live. It wasn't working. The fishing goat was good. I've seen a bunch of new people come through here. Names I've never seen before, but that's good. I mean, if you guys don't know about my channel, it's mainly a travel channel. But right now we're in the Tesla doing some autopilot driving in the DC area. Maybe that's what we should do. Maybe we should just go to a few sites. Let's see if we can get some hold on, let's see if we can double back. Hold on, let me try something right quick. Maybe we can ride through the city a little bit. But first, before we do any of that, I need to maybe park for a hot second, and then we can start to maneuver around the city. I mean, it's kind of interesting stuff all around here, but let's make this move here. Oh no, let's do this. Yeah, I think this is a no parking zone, but we staying in the car. So this is Alexandria area, the south side of Alexandria. They got all these new buildings going up, man. But where do we want to go? Y'all tell me. Where do we want to go in DC? You on your phone and fishing. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Would they anything biting? Or you out there just throwing the line? I ain't been fishing in a minute. I just talked with my mom too, and she the one that taught me how to fish. Went fishing with my mom when I was a kid. We used to fish in was it the Tar River in North Carolina? We never eat those fish out of that river, but yeah, mom would grab the hook, put the worms on. When I, first couple times, that shit was weird to me. But oh, you caught 4, okay. But then after a while, I spent a lot of time in North Carolina, even though I'm born in Maryland in the DC area, but I spent a lot of time in my younger years in North Carolina being a straight up country boy. Yeah, fishing in the river. I guess fishing in the river is like kind of janky, right? Like, it's supposed to be more, unless you're doing fly fishing or something like that. But we used to catch some stuff, so I don't know. Little bait and hooks, little old school bobs. I don't even know if they still use those anymore. The little red and white little balls that used to put on the line. Yeah. So if y'all got some suggestions of what y'all want to see in the DC area, we can ride through. I think what we might do is we'll put a destination in, and then we'll change it up midway through so we get to the center. Because it's actually a nice drive, especially at this time of the day. And the weather is, the scene is good right now. I want to see if I can try something too. I want to see if I can, oh yeah, that worked. That might work. Let me see. I don't want to mess up my windshield trying this. Does that stay still? That might work. That might work. Nope, that ain't working. If I can get this to stay put in the corner, then that would be awesome. That might work. Okay. I think we're going to rock like that. If it falls, I tried. Because this, we can also tap, show you what's in front, tap, go back. I just need to get a mount. Tell you the truth, that's what I really need to do. Get a proper mount. So Let me see. Visiting Lima in November. How's the dating on a scale of 1 to 10? I guess, that's a big category, dating, right? But I would say ease of meeting people, ease of meeting women there. I would say it's a good 7, 8 as far as ease of meeting new people to go out with, meeting new ladies to go out with. Obviously, I'm not the type that tries to meet a lot of ladies. If I meet, I might meet some ladies and then I'm cool with 1 or 2. That's the 1 or 2 I'm dealing with. For the most part. Not to say, if something else comes in the picture that I'll just shut her down and won't talk to her or won't entertain going to have coffee or dinner or something like that. But and not to say that just because I'm only dealing with one girl that I expect her to only be dealing with me. I'm a realist, man. I know how the world really works. Like if I'm visiting and I'm there for a few months even, and that's something I want to talk about too. I might do another video on that, either a video or live, talking about slow travel versus, the regular travel, what everybody, what most people are used to. And I personally think that slow travel is for me right now. That constantly going somewhere every 2 weeks or whatever, that is for the birds, my friend. Burns through your pockets, burns through your mental calories. Like, I don't care who you are, what you say, I don't care. If you're constantly moving, you can't really be good at anything. You better have been good before you started moving. I know for me, it's like editing, right? So I got to put a lot of time and focus on editing. I can't get better at editing if I'm moving around a lot. Even if you're good at editing, do you think you're going to learn new skills while on the move? Constantly? No, unless you got a team member that's going to do that for you, which makes sense. Then you can move. But for me, I feel like there's periods and times where I can move a lot, and there's periods and times where I got to stay put for a little bit longer. So, all right, where we going, man? Where we going? We're going, let's go to the mall. We'll put it in the mall. And then National Mall. Cool. We'll put it in the National Mall. And then on the way there, you'll see a bunch of stuff. And I'm going the wrong way. Want me to turn around? No, we got it. It's going to reroute. Yeah. So hopefully this thing stays put. This will be a good. Damn, if this thing stays put, these phone holders are out of business. I think I could probably, even if it doesn't stay put, I think a few adjustments and I could make it. I can make it work. Okay, we got you just caught one? All right, that's what's up. The fishing goat is out there fishing, and he catching fish on the live. Yeah, man, rolling with the Tesla, man. Got this thing on autopilot. My plan is to roll through a little bit here in DC and show y'all some of the sites if my phone situation don't give me too many problems. Yeah, man, congratulations, man. You caught another one. So that's fish number 5. You're in your 5th fish of the day. Trout. I wouldn't mind going fishing again. I need to go fishing. That's actually not fishing, but one thing I want to do while I'm still in the DC area is to show a little bit more of the nature that's right around here. We got some parks that most people probably don't know anything about. I want to go out there. I need to get I'm doing another video too. Another video that's probably gonna be another video that's gonna be. See, that's what I'm talking about. My little situation right there. I think autopilot is messing with me too. It's like, hey, is he live streaming? Go ahead and step on it. But yeah, I want to show. I'm doing a video now where I'm working on it, where I'm showing different parts of the city in a unique way, a unique and useful way. And I think, I don't know how long it's gonna take me to edit it. To tell you the truth, I'm probably gonna do some editing on it tonight, but might be out another week. But before that's out, I'll probably put something else out from either Lima or Buenos Aires. So expect that coming up. Let me show y'all some of Alexandria as we drive through. Anything. Okay, that's what's up. Yeah, the last video was from the Lima area. And wait, last two videos, right? With Lima. I had one, the Buenos Aires video was from like last month. It's doing okay. I think it's approaching 800 views in a month, which is not great, but not terrible either. So yeah, man. I need another video that hits and gets a couple thousand right off the rip. I need another one like that. How was Argentina? It was they said there's racists out there, just some people making videos about the topic. I mean, you know what it is, man. You know, everybody needs views nowadays, right? And everybody wants to get clever about how they get views. And I will say, there's not a lot of black people there, obviously, right? Even in my videos, you can see it. Like, you don't see a lot of us there. But, you know, for me, they ain't never been a thing. They ain't never, I mean, people, I deal with people that deal with me. And to tell you the truth, when European, like especially being in Europe, when Europeans don't want to deal with you, it's not like they're confronting you and like cursing at you and stuff like that. They just, you can just tell, like, okay, this person doesn't want to deal with me. Okay, cool, move on. And somebody else, you'll find somebody else, possibly that same day, that wants to hang out with you. That's almost, you know, almost right behind you. Like, hey, hey, man, you know what? Like, let's do something. Let's hang out. Like, so I like that side of Europe. It's just very clear, right? And Europeans in general. It's just very clear who wants to deal with you and who doesn't. Versus other places, it's very murky. Even Latin America, to a degree, it's murky. Other parts of Latin America besides Argentina and Chile, you know, those more European-centric areas. So for me, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed Argentina. It wasn't the most popping, you know, as far as if you compare it to places like Colombia or Brazil. No, it's not popping like that. But I do feel there's a lot to see. I spent 2 months there, I think. So for me, it was still very, very new. You know, a new way of experiencing Latin America. And I'm gonna go back. I'll go back to Argentina for sure. I don't think I'd want to go back now this time of year. Although my friend, she just called me from down there. She's actually not Argentinian. She's from Ecuador, but she had a situation, and you know, she just didn't know. She needed information more than anything, and I helped her out with that, and she was grateful, you know. So she's a young lady, so she, you know, some things that some of us would know about, she doesn't. So I'm not going to go into details about what it was, but yeah, so it was cool to help her out with that. And you know, all in all, I think it was an hour conversation. So I didn't, and I wasn't busy. It wasn't like she was taking up my time. So it was good to help her out with that. But yeah, and I met a lot of cool people there. Like, I'll say this: sometimes you go to a lot of Latin American countries and you meet cool people. Colombia has a lot of cool people, a lot of cool women, whatever, you know, dudes that'll help you out with things. But there is a lot of, how can I say, I won't say gringo worshiping, because that's not what it is. It's not worshiping. It's just more like, oh, this guy's from America. I might be able to, you know, have something. He might be able to give me some gifts and stuff like that. Although, to tell you the truth, I don't run into those girls that often. I hear the stories, but me personally, the girls I deal with in Colombia, they are straight up and down people. Like, they don't. If you see me hanging out with a woman in Colombia multiple times, she's straight up about her business, not the type to try plotting on you. I mean, I can't say, because I haven't, you know, you never know how long the game is with some people. But then again, now we're getting into the category of anybody who wants to run long game on you. It could be from America or wherever. So yeah. But yeah, Argentina was cool, man. I'm going back. Short answer. There's racist people everywhere. There's racist people right here. There's racist people in Africa. You ain't from their tribe, then you ain't nothing. You know what I mean? Or they might not overtly say that, but they're going to treat you like, they're going to put you in a box. That's normal, man. People do that. Because a lot of time people don't know how to, what I found out about racism, it's just an efficient way to categorize people. Racism, labeling, ageism, sexism, all of that. We all do it to some degree. And don't get it twisted. But nowadays, everybody loves racism is a hot word, man. It's a hot topic. What is autopilot doing? It was over there, then it came back over here. I had to keep my hand close by the wheel, though. You see that right there? Got to keep a little pincher on that thing. Gotta pinch that thing. Keep my eyes on these mirrors. We'll go down DC. Maybe they, you know, it's a thing going on about cops patrolling everywhere. So maybe we'll see those guys keeping the city safe. Which, from everything I've seen online, people are like, oh, look at this, look at, like, what are we talking about? They're just, yes, it's like 10 cops and they're in a group and they're walking out in force to show you they're there. Like, if I almost feel like anybody who's complaining about that, it's like, yo, they're out catching the stupid people right now. And obviously there's groups of them that are going to push and get guys that they've been after, right? Who committed serious crimes, who probably need to be off the streets. But other than that, you know, I even saw one interaction where cops came up, was like, hey man, I think I smell some weed. So just letting y'all know, we out here. And it's illegal to smoke out in public, even though it might be legal to buy and purchase. To smoke out in a public place is illegal. Just letting you know. I'm like, hey man, how much more can you ask from law enforcement? And if they come back through and they told you in your group and they see anything, it's game on. And they don't seem to be hiding, you know? So, oh yeah, here go the Air Force Memorial right there. I'll give y'all a little tour, right? When you come to, if you come up the 395 route, you'll get this tour where you can see the Pentagon, the Air Force Memorial, and the Washington Monument all in the same, all while you're on the highway right here. Kind of cool, man. Nation's capital. And then you got Alexandria. Pentagon City Mall is right over there. And Macy's is directly right over there behind them trees. But yeah. All the defense companies you'll see. Boeing building is right there. Lockheed Martin is over here somewhere. All that big money. You know what I mean? Not talking about no small industries. We talking about the industries of all industries. The industry, the defense industry is the one that made the whole Silicon Valley industry. If you didn't know, they went over there and set up like, hey, let's set up in these colleges over here. And start pushing this ARPANET and all this other stuff, which most of us are benefiting from today, right now. This live stream, all of that. Okay, damn, I need to answer some of these questions, don't I? Let's wait till this traffic gets a little slower, and then I will answer some of the questions. This is a nice scene right here. Washington Monument, and Jefferson Memorial right there. I was out here yesterday, I came through, and there was some clouds behind the Jefferson Memorial. That joint was looking like a cloud right there. I was like, dang, them architects knew what they was doing, man. These architects out here, it's like they recruited the best people they could get from around the world at the time. Like, hey, we want to do this to be aesthetically pleasing and functional. I don't know, I think we went the wrong way. Oh no, we're going towards the mall. Okay. If I was going back around the way, we would have took the other way. But this is a more scenic route, I guess. Let's see. Yeah, so if you've never been to DC, it's actually, I thought it would be more people out this time of year. It doesn't seem to be that many people here this year, which is good. I like it like this. I like it like this. In DC, during the week, after rush hour, the city's gonna be empty as far as the roads, unless there's an event going on. The streets, you'll see these nice big streets and nothing to be going on out here. What's the difference between Peruvian and Colombian women? Hold on, let me see what else we got. Lagging. Where you at now? I'm in DC. Scuba Steve. What's your top 5 cities you've been to that most are enjoyable for me? Overseas cities. Man, I love the life in the United States. Okay. Yeah, as far as most enjoyable places for me, it's weird, man. When I really think about it, you know, I was stationed in Germany for a while, and oh damn, we got Waymo here? I ain't know we had Waymo. Jesus. They must be testing it out. What's going on here? Why is my autopilot tripping? Oh, I know why. Because we put the destination in, is right there. Oh, they go to police right there. But yeah, that's the monument. So let's see if we can find some place to park around here. And if you didn't know, that's the African American Museum. Let me roll down my window a little bit so we get a little bit more action. And let me end that. That's the African American Museum, Washington Monument right there. And yeah, and this van is in the way. Pretty unique architecture there. All right, let's try to park somewhere. He ain't supposed to be parking there. Or should we park? Nah, we just gonna roll through, man. I don't feel like dealing with nobody right now. Okay, so differences. No, places I like. Okay, so I like Germany. Probably because I know it well. You know, I studied the language a little bit, know a bit about the culture. Other place, Colombia. I don't know. It's just enjoyable to me. There's something about, I don't know. When I first spent some time in Medellin, I think 2017, I just felt like the people there were very emotionally intelligent, because they could pick up on things pretty quickly. If you were feeling kind of off or nervous or something like that, they see it right away. Um, so obviously there's a lot of stuff going on nowadays with the druggings and some of the crime as against foreigners, which is not good. I'm not, you know, but, and I'm not going to say I'm immune to it, but I have been there enough to know how not to participate in certain activities. Like I don't have to go to the club to have a good time, or to meet new people, or to meet ladies, um, or to talk to people. Sometimes you just got to have the ability to talk to people, right? If you can do that, you will probably have a good time in Colombia. And you're gonna need some Spanish for that. What's going on here? They got something going on in the park out here. And I'm driving manual right now, just because I don't have a real destination. Um, but yeah. But Brazil was cool. Florianopolis was, I loved my time there. Actually, I still got videos from there that I need to put out. I did a photo shoot video with a young lady that's pretty nice. I ain't gonna lie. I was looking at it yesterday, and I'm like, dang, the water, the mountains in the background, the sky, her, like, it's a lot of good visuals going on in that video. So I just need to put it together in a way that makes some sense, right? It ain't gotta be a full-on, you know, journalistic documentary story, but it just has to have some type of, a little bit more of a flow. I think I'm getting there with it. But also Lima, man. Lima surprised me. I thought I was just going to Lima like as a little stopover, just like a little break, flying from Argentina to Chile. I didn't. Chile is cool, don't get me wrong, but I didn't do a lot there, and I didn't really enjoy my time there. I got sick there. Um, I didn't meet anybody there. Not that I remember. Yeah, so I didn't meet anybody there that I would contact again before I came. So it kind of, it didn't. I would need to go again to give it a real score, right? Because right now it's like 0 for me. As far as as far as safety and convenience and stuff, it still was good in that way. It's really good in that way. It felt like the States. That was another thing. Since it felt like the States, I almost felt like there's nothing for me to do here. Which is, I don't know, maybe it's just me. But then after that, I was like, all right, before I go to the States, let me just stop off in Lima since I'm right here. right along this western South American coast. And I went to Lima. I was like, hold up, man. All the videos I seen in Lima, it was like cloudy and stuff like that. I got there, it was, it was some clouds like earlier in the day, but it was also pretty well lit in the afternoon and evenings, and it was just good weather when I was there. The scenes, bro, it's like the Malecon they got there, the boardwalk, you can walk that thing. They got two of them, so it's one that you can walk that's high up, and another one that's kind of like down at beach level, and they're all well built. There's no, how can I say it? It's, two people could be going in each direction. Well, two people could be going the same direction on each side, and you would be good. So it's wide enough for 4 people on most of the Malecon sidewalk. And it's, I don't know, man, it was just really cool. Hang out there. I know it's getting dark in here, right? Let me DC, man. DC proper is full of places to not park. No parking, because everything is filled up. That's the main reason I couldn't. I mean, I guess a lot of people that live out here or working here, but that would be an issue, man. Everybody got to get a stamp for their parking and stuff like that. All right, let's see. Let's put in a destination. People are out though. People are out enjoying the city. Weather's good too, so this is one thing about DC, right? Like some of these roads right here, they're narrow like this. I know a lot of people complain about driving in DC, and this is what they're talking about. They're talking about the fact that you don't have conventional roads all the time everywhere. Let me try something right quick. All right, we're gonna. I try to get a person to go. Yeah, well, they're tripping. Cool. Oh. All right. How many people we got? We got 11 people in this live stream. Hopefully, this live stream is monetized by default. Cause sometimes, man, YouTube they be trying to do something. They be trying to do things to your money, man. Let's see what this autopilot doing. It figured that out. See, I like that. Autopilot is a city driver now. It figured out that situation. I did have an issue yesterday though. I was autopiloted somewhere, and it was about to go into a lane with oncoming. It didn't have oncoming traffic, but it shouldn't have been in that lane. Like, it would have been oncoming traffic. But I took over right before it went in there, and just like I was supposed to go this way, and it should be over there, and it went into the opposite lane. And it was kind of confusing. I ain't gonna lie. The whole setup was a little confusing, but I had to grab it. Yeah, so this is all these little, kind of has like a European vibe over here, right? Where we at? This intersection of 9th and O Northwest. 9th and O Street. Yeah, so I haven't been down to this part of downtown in a minute, so things are definitely changing. Things are more expensive now than they were. I think that's everywhere. It's not a big surprise. Man, that's a giant. Hold up. I feel like yeah, I think I remember that spot. I went there not too long ago. Seventh Street, and then I think we gonna be going through, I wouldn't say hood, but we going through a little bit of the old area. Probably gonna get on. I don't know if we're gonna get on Bladensburg Road. All right, let me see. I'm gonna try to answer some of these questions at the next red light, because I do gotta keep my eyes on this thing. Even though we autopiloting, I still gotta stay alert to a degree. Let me see. All right. Guess who's back? Let me see. You said lifestyle I wish for, one of the nicest Western nations, corrupted system control. Okay. Everything is too expensive. That's everywhere, man. Everything, man. Nick Dog, what's good? As far as my recommendations for Germany, what I recommend it for studying, yeah. I mean, especially if you're studying engineering, they got the best. They got the best engineers. My dad was a civil engineer. He told me that early. He was like, hey, Germans, especially when it comes to mechanical engineering, they the best. Don't let nobody tell you otherwise. There's something about how they do things where just their top engineers just outbeat everybody. And when you really look at it, like, people can say whatever they want against that statement, you know, and I would say they might be like, oh, well, the US, we got some really good engineers, or, you know, some other country. And as far as the US, we stole all the German engineers. NASA was a straight up German program. The United States wasn't even thinking about no space program before World War II, until the end of World War II. That was not on the agenda, friend. Then all of a sudden, we was in World War II for like, what, 3 years? And we came out of that joint with a space program and a better highway. There they go, another Waymo. Bro, I ain't even know them joints was in DC. Well, Tesla need to start operating here too with the robo-taxis. Hopefully, you know what I mean? Hopefully Elon ain't beefing with Trump too hard where he can't come over here. Yo, sometimes Elon is the man, but especially as an engineer, right? But he need to revamp his social thinking. He need to take some social engineering classes. Cause your boy is a little wild, bro. I know he be on some whatever they say he be taking. But I think a lot of genius people are probably taking some type of recreational drug, right? But damn. You want to study architecture? Okay, yeah. I know people, I know architects in Germany. I was hanging out with architects. I actually went to some of their classes, because that's the thing about the universities in Germany. You could just sit in on classes. But I will tell you one thing about them. They will be working, bro. They got the best architects, engineers, and all that. But they do not, there's no hours, right? Especially when they're the students I know, they were students. They're architects, straight up architects now, doing well, actually. But when they were students, I watched them, bro. We would go to the club. They'd have a project. And right after the club, they up all night, not sleeping until after class the next day. They come back from the club, work on the project, like building the, those little boards y'all build with the mock-up of the building, and then the trees and the place, putting all that stuff there. They doing all that. They not just putting a mock-up of the building. They will put these trees over there. They'll put the road down. If there's gravel out there, they put the gravel. A real mock-up, bro. I was like, yo, how do y'all even make this? Like, I watched them go to the store and get the stuff. But when they got it, I'm like, what are you doing with this? It's like, oh yeah, we're making trees out of this. I'm like, huh? I didn't even know that was a thing. I thought if you just doing a mock-up, it's just a building. Nah, bro, it's like straight up full on mock-up. All right, I might have to put my phone down for a minute just to make sure we're good. Let me get on the wheel. So that's one thing I would say too about driving with Tesla Autopilot. You better know certain situations, even if it handles it, which it did, there was no problems there, right? But you got to be ready to take over. So have your hand and feet ready, your hand and foot ready, at least one hand, one foot, ready for the brake, ready to jerk this wheel if you need to. But then when the situation is more calm, you can and it's not any anticipated changes coming up, then you can relax a little bit. But I think that needs to be stated actually with the autopilot, how to actually drive with it the safest, but also the balance of the benefit of it driving itself and being safe. It's like times like this, like I ain't got to worry about much, right? Something could still happen, but we're going at 18 miles per hour and it's a clear lane. Everything is clearly marked. There's a little variance here. But from what I know, okay, now it's making a little turn. I check my mirrors, everything's good. But from what I know about my experience of autopilot, I can tell what situations it can handle and which ones it can't. Whenever I see a motorcycle or a two-wheeled, motorcycle, bicycle, whatever, and it's close to my lane, I always pay closer attention just because you don't want, even at a slow speed, because you don't want a small little mistake to injure somebody, right? So whether I'm on autopilot or whether it's a good situation or not, I'm always watching what it's doing around them as well, or extra alert. So yeah, man, I ain't gonna lie. Car without autopilot now, even though I really do like driving this thing, even without autopilot, the power it has, the pull, the balance, when cornering and all that, just easy, bro. This thing turns, real quick will turn from just a regular sedan to a vicious, I won't say street racer, but very capable speeding demon. And I love that about this car, man. It's not a lot of maintenance. Yeah, I think the only thing missing, right, it doesn't have a roaring of an engine. And I think a lot of people don't want to admit to it. That's all they really missing. That's all they really complaining about. Oh, the Tesla thing ain't got no soul. Because it ain't making no noise and it ain't rumbling. That's what you mean, right? So when you step on it, it don't go. I miss that too. But let's be real, my guy. If you hating on Tesla strictly because it ain't had no sound, then do you even value balance of a car? Or, for stick shift, when I was in Germany, I drove a lot of stick shift cars on the Autobahn, right? And one thing is, especially when you're shifting gears, it's way more tactile, right? But you're trying to get it in the zone all the time, which is, it's not that hard. But when your shifts, you wanted to be in that zone. You wanted to have that torque zone, right? This thing is always in the torque zone. Even, it's almost like when you come off the accelerator, it's downshifted already. So if you're going in a corner and you're going, normally you taking a turn and you come off the accelerator and that thing's kind of free floating in a gas car. Most gas cars that I've driven, especially if it's automatic, right? Maybe if it's really good in sport mode, it might downshift a little bit, but it's going to give you some free time where you're like kind of sliding in there. That don't happen here. You ain't got none of that, especially if you got it in one pedal driving mode. Now, if you put it in the mode where it coasts, yeah, you'll get some of that. You'll feel like the old cars, but if you put it in one pedal driving, as soon as you let off the accelerator, it's holding. It's holding, and you step on it, it's right there, ready to go. Prime torque all the time. I'm going to preach on this Tesla stuff right now because a lot of y'all don't understand what it's really about, especially this Model 3. I can't speak for the Model S, which is probably or this ain't even the performance one, but you can get the performance package on these long range Model 3s. So it steps down the 0 to 60 time to 3.2 seconds from the 4.6 it was before, or whatever. You might not have the big brakes. So if you had the performance package, it'd even be more of that action, which I don't need because I'm only using it sparingly, and it's fun. But the main reason I got this car is for the ability to not always have to be changing oil and all of that. Just less maintenance. I mean, something will go wrong with this car eventually, and that's cool. That's expected. I won't say that's cool. That's expected. But after 65,000 miles, wherever I'm at right now, it's been very little issues. So yeah, I appreciate the Tesla for that. Any other questions? I've been rambling on about Tesla for a minute, but what other questions we got? This area right here used to be a little bit rougher. It ain't the nicest area, even still right now, but it used to be worse. We used to go to the Go-Go's back in the day up there. They had the Zanzibar, I think. Yeah, they called it the Zanzibar, was back there. Club Love was back behind us. We'd have passed it already. Back that area. But there was a lot of stuff that was going on out here as well that, you know, you ain't want to be out here late at night by yourself. I just say a lot of activities. But, and I'm sure that some of it's still going on, but I wouldn't know. I'm not hanging out here anymore. I never really did hang out here. I'm just saying. But I don't see the police out there either. They probably like, nah, man, we gonna save that area for the real teams when they come through, when they need to come through. But yeah, it's pretty cool being back home in the United States this time of year. Summertime, people are out doing things. The weather's been decent, actually. I was expecting it to have a lot more hot days. There were a few really hot days this summer, but nothing for too long. There were some days that were really hot. Like, I was about to say nothing too crazy, but there were some days that were crazy hot. Now it's the month of August for the most part has been nice. You know, I think even right now the temperature outside is 82. Nothing too wild. And a few of the mornings have actually been cool. I forgot when it was, but it was like a month ago. Yeah, it was still in July. We had a few days where it was like perfect. I was like, dang, this is like Medellin weather. But whenever that happens on the East Coast, you gotta enjoy that right there that day. You gotta almost like drop everything you're doing. Like, yo, it's sunny, it's cool. I ain't doing nothing today. I'm outside. When it get hot again, like back to editing, doing whatever else inside. You know? Oh man, it's black as hell up in here. Let me get some light over here. Let me see. Got a little bit of light. We ain't gonna be able to do too much just cause we driving. Can't be Can't be lighting the whole cabin up though the whole time. How long will you be out here in the States? I don't know, man. I don't even know. I think about, I don't know. Even next week, I'm looking at flights next week. They was cheap too, to another destination. Maybe a place I've been before, but flights were cheap. Next week they looking nice. But yeah, I got to discuss some stuff with my family down south, and we got to work some things out. I got to get some things in order still. There's some paperwork stuff I need to do too for Africa. I got to get that knocked out, or at least get the process going. And yeah, editing videos, you know, I'm almost there, y'all. I'm almost to the point where I would say I know what I'm doing. I'm almost there. Not quite. I know what I'm almost to the point where I know what I'm doing for a basic video. And then right when I get there, guess what? The whole game gonna change. I already know. You know what I mean? But that's the journey. That's the journey. I might be late, but I'm gonna show up. I might be late, but your boy will show up. I'll show up. Yeah. Trying to get into some I don't know, man. I'm really am making videos and editing videos, doing all that is a craft. It's a, and you could tell, right? The people that are out there doing it as a craft, you can tell like they have a little style to them. Maybe not every video, because it's depending on how often you want to get stuff out. But me, I don't know. I actually want to get to the point where, and I'm getting there. I felt like editing videos for me, maybe even 2 years ago, it was like some videos where it was enjoyable, but a good 80% of them, it wasn't enjoyable. I ain't know what I was doing. I ain't know how to structure nothing. I ain't know how to, I would talk about going over or looking at certain things that I do now. I try to, it's a few things I do when I'm looking at videos, when I'm editing them. I'll get it to a certain point, and I'm like, all right, let me look at this again. I didn't know any of that stuff, so some videos wouldn't get a audio level check, or wouldn't get a, even still, there's parts of it that maybe didn't get the attention they deserved before the final cut. But I'm a lot better now than I was before. The videos were simpler before, which is cool. There's nothing wrong with simple videos. But I was always wondering, like, oh, how do I do this? How do I do that? Like, damn, I wish I knew how to do this. Now all the basic stuff, I pretty much know how to do. I still am not good on effects, and I'm gonna try to study some of that in DaVinci Resolve. Has a section of their video or editing suite called Fusion, so I want to study some of that too. I gotta watch myself out here. They be jacking out here. I'm out here with the light on, phone out, but I'm just in a Tesla, so it ain't nothing no more. Back in the day, if you was in a Tesla, that might have meant something. Now it's everybody got a Tesla. But yeah, it's pretty cool, man. The ability to have an idea and the ability to do it by yourself, in my opinion, is golden, even if you do end up working with a team at a later point. Because you just you see everything. You know something about the whole process. Even if you never work with a team, it's still really good because you can you can respect others work, whether they have a team or not. Right? You're like, oh damn, look what they did here. Oh damn, yeah, that's tight. You know, when you watch a piece of media, not saying it don't got to be a movie, any piece of visual, video, audio media, you can look at it with a different type of eye, maybe like an engineer's eye, right? Because that's what you're doing here. You're engineering content to a degree. Not the same as engineering, I know, but you're still building something, crafting something. When you really look at it in totality, you know, you think about story, right? That's a huge one that will get a lot of attention if you're really good at crafting story beyond everything else. If your story is good, your image can look like this image looks like right now, and it will still get a lot of action. But story is one part of it. Then you got the visual side of it. Could be as simple as just placing the camera where it needs to point and getting the things in frame, like not having your head totally chopped off the whole time. Subject either in the center or the rule of thirds rule, whatever you want to do. Audio, making sure those levels are good, which audio for me is still kind of a tricky thing. I'm still not that clear on it because there's no like, oh, it needs to be at this exact number. They have LUFS when you upload to YouTube. There's certain LUFS, I think it's like 14 or something like that it needs to be, but that has nothing to do with what it's at when you're editing. So, and then you can go deep into sound as far as background noise, what you should do with that and what level that needs to be, or different frequencies, all of that, which is cool. I like the fact that all of that is there and is there for me to grow into. Like, I'm not done learning any of this stuff. And then the big one is, especially in DaVinci Resolve, is the Fusion, which is like the special effects, composition, graphic effects panel. If you're dealing with Adobe, it would be After Effects. But in DaVinci Resolve, it's in the program, but it's a different tab. So you just tap the little tab at the bottom and then you're in there. And I'm going to learn that at some point. Learning it slowly, but I think it's going to be useful. And then once you have the capability of telling stories like that, or the ability to craft a story like that, I think, you know, you could do what you want. If you want to get paid, you could get paid. If you want to just create stuff that you feel passionate about, you can do that. If you want to create family memories that people will like, dang, okay, you can do that. And I kind of want to do some of that. There's some stuff I want to do just for, I want to get my skills to a certain level just so I can, you know, build some memories for family. We'll see how it goes. I'm working on some stuff. That stuff won't be shared on YouTube, obviously, on YouTube, but for the most part, I don't think that's not the route I'm going with it. But anyway, I'm about to get out of here. This live it's been real, y'all. It's been real